It is a sad day, and I'm regretfully informing you that the PlayStation Vita is being discontinued and is no longer in production. And that is a big deal for a few reasons, and we'll talk about that, and then we will talk about some games and why this thing was a favorite of mine for handheld, and we'll talk about how cool the system is and how it's going to be missed by me and others that play the PlayStation Vita as well. Now, I will start off by saying the PlayStation Vita did not have very good success in the United States. However, in Japan, it sold like hotcakes, and there's a reason for that. This is a solid console, and it's a handheld that you can take anywhere with you. The sticks on it are very nice. The screen is an OLED screen. It is very, very beautiful, and there is a touch back screen as well, if you did not know. Now, PlayStation and Sony have this like love-hate kind of relationship with handhelds. You had the PSP, or the PlayStation Portable, and that saw success, but it was kind of regarded as kind of just an okay console for them. It wasn't a PlayStation 2 or anything. And kind of the PS Vita kind of fell in the same category as the PlayStation Portable. It just didn't meet expectations for Sony and PlayStation, and honestly, it seemed like they kind of were disappointed in it, especially in the United States here, where it was pulled like a year or two ago. Honestly, these things are not very easy to find in the United States. Now, I know they're there, you can find them, yes, but this isn't a console like the 3DS or the Switch at this point. Those are both handheld competitors that are out there, and everyone can get one if they want it. This is a console that is just hard to get a hold of. Even if you're searching for one, it may be a little hard. Now, I have this one that I bought used, and the screen is quite frankly really beat up, and there's a little scrape on it, and this is a battle-worn PS Vita, and I played the crap out of it, and honestly, it's beat up, but it still looks good, and I still have a ton of fun with this. This is a really cool console. There is some things that bug me about it, like the memory. It's basically memory, but let me remember where it's at. But it is not actually, I took it out of this one. Dang it, I can't even show you. But their memory cards are basically their own memory cards, and you cannot go out and buy them and put in like an SD card or anything like that. You have to buy a Sony one, and the bigger SD cards are quite expensive now because they just are hard to come by and all that. And this is going to be a kind of a heavy hit for PlayStation, because this thing sold, like I said, like hotcakes in Japan, and honestly, a lot of Japanese people played this console. It is a great console, and there are so many Japanese releases. Even whenever it stopped in the United States, games were still being just flooding the market from Japan, and that's really cool because this is a really nice system. Now, I've got a few games here I want to talk about. I got like 8, I think, and they're all good games, and I want to just talk about it a little bit with you guys to show you kind of what kind of library it had. If you never heard of the PlayStation Vita or the games, I'm going to share with you kind of my picks that are up there and are the best games on the system. And the first one is Uncharted Golden Abyss. If you liked Uncharted and you wanted to take it on the go with you, this is definitely the way to do it. Uncharted is very awesome. It's a puzzle shooter kind of game. It's something that you didn't see before it came on the PlayStation 3, and those games are very awesome, and so is this one. So if you like those Uncharted games, you need to get this game because this is a very good one for sure. Next, we have a Telltale series game, and I'm sad to say that they're closed up, but honestly, they make some of the best story-driven games, and I very much am proud and happy to have played some of these games. And this one is The Walking Dead. They have Season 2 on here as well. And honestly, the PlayStation Vita is the way to play these because you can literally take it with you and just walk around and play the story. It's so much fun. If you've never checked out a Telltale series game, you definitely need to. The graphics are just astonishing. The music as well put together with these games, and these games are really a nice package to play, especially if you like story-driven, decision-based games. Next is Call of Duty Black Ops Z oh wait, what? How did this get in there? This is the worst Vita game. Honestly, don't pick this up. I picked this up for like $4 because it was cheap, and I can tell you, it is not a good game. Let's get back to the real games. Borderlands 2. Borderlands 2 is such a great game, and this has a few add-ons. It says like 6 or something like that. But if you liked Borderlands and you want to take that to go and it look amazing on your PS Vita, this is definitely the way to play it. It's so much fun. I love this game. It's so cool, and I hope we get more. We'll see. But this is a series that is very well known and well revered, and honestly, playing this on your Vita is something you must do. The next is an interesting game if you like puzzler games or if you like music or rhythm type games. This is Lumines Electronic Symphony, I think? Yep, okay. And this thing is so much fun. If you have ever played Lumines on the PSP, you definitely know what you're getting into. This is so much fun, and I'm glad to say I picked this up at a Goodwill for like $6, $5, something like that, and man, did I get my money's worth for that, and I enjoyed everything about this. This game is so much fun. It's kind of like a Tetris style game, but with like more EDM type, techno type music. It's really good, and on the back it says non-stop music driven puzzle action, and I think that is the best way to explain this game. It's so much fun. If you're into puzzle games or music or rhythm type things, this is definitely one for you. Next is yet another weird and wacky one, and it's a big series on the PlayStation and now the Switch, I guess, and that is Touch My Katamari. Katamari is such a fun game, and if you've ever played these games, you know what I'm talking about. They're nonsense. I actually reviewed the Nintendo Switch version of a Katamari Damacy reroll back in December, and it's a lot of fun. This game is as fun as well. You can even use the rear touchpad on the back of the Vita to control things, and it's just so much fun. Being able to take this on the go, you just get that opportunity to do more, and I'll say that a bunch more in this video, I'm assuming. Playability on the road is good because you can be playing this at home. You could take it anywhere and play this as long as your battery is charged. Katamari is one you need to pick up if you have not already. Now the next two are one of my favorite games, both on the PS Vita, honestly, and I had a tough time deciding which one's my favorite. I think I know which is my favorite, and that's just because I loved it. The graphics are so great, but let's talk about the runner-up first. And I know some people are probably going to give me flack for this because I didn't make this #1, but Persona 4 Golden is the way to play Persona 4. If you do not own Persona 4 and you own a Vita and you are interested in it, this is the way to do it. It looks so great, sounds so good. This is such a good story, and if you've never heard of this, it's basically a Japanese RPG where you're kind of a high school student. And there's some more to that, and I'm not going to get into it in this video, but definitely Persona 4 Golden is a good game. Actually, it's a great game on the system, and if you do not own this, you gotta pick it up on the PS Vita because that is the way to play it. Now, I know there are tons of games on the system And I know that someone is going to disagree. Don't go into it disagreeing. Tell me if you disagree. Tell me the game down below in the comments. I want to know what you think is the #1 game. So this is my #1, and all the rest aren't in any order. They're just kind of games that are great or good on the system. But this is definitely my #1, and that is Gravity Rush. I played this, and I played it so much. I love the graphics, I love the art style of it, I love the sound, all the kind of being able to flip upside down and do all this crazy stuff. It's very awesome, and I think it is done well. Now, I did recently get Gravity Rush 2 for the PlayStation 4, and I wish that would have came to the Vita, but I'm not going to complain too much because we did get a second one. I haven't played it yet, but I intend to because I had so much fun with this game. I loved it. The controls are very awesome. You get motion controls with this game, so if you don't like that, you may want to shy away from this game, but it's still super fun, and you don't necessarily have to use those if you do not want to, but this is so awesome. I'll talk about the tagline on the back yet again because this is a good phrase of the kind of summary of the game. It says, manipulate gravity to save a world that's falling apart. And honestly, that is what this game is. And I'm not going to get into the story, but it's a very great story and a great game altogether. And I could not recommend that anymore. Any of my friends that pick up a Vita, I'm like, go get Gravity Rush. I don't care what you do. If you want to borrow my Gravity Rush, you can because it is such a great game. With that being said, I know this is kind of a weird and wacky kind of paying tribute to the PlayStation Vita, but I wanted to talk about some really good games, and I have other games that are really good, and I just didn't include them because I didn't want the list to be super long, but honestly, these are some great games. Other than that, Call of Duty, don't pick that up please, but this is a great system and it's severely going to be missed. So with that being said, if you love the PS Vita, please comment down below, let me know what you think about it, and honestly I am gonna miss it, and I hope to see some good games come to it before it ends, but honestly it was a great system and I'm happy to have owned it. With that being said, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget about Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Big Cartel, Patreon, Amazon. All that stuff is down below in the description. Check that out if you're interested at all. If not, no worries. Also, since you've watched this far, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, join, and make sure you hit that bell notification because it lets you know when I put up videos next. With that being said, make sure you have a good day.